Hello my friends, I'm back with another quick little preview for you of a game called Unbroken. And I wanted to bring this one to your attention for two reasons. First, it's a purely solo game. This is not a game that is a competitive game with a solo variant. This is not a cooperative game that you can play solo. This game is designed and can only be played by one. And there aren't enough of these games out here. So I wanted to call your attention to this. The copy I have is a print and play version. So mine's just on regular little printer paper from Board Game Geek. I'll put some links below if you're interested. You can print out your own copy. But the big news is the designer has launched a Kickstarter and it's funded. So this is going to be made and printed and finalized, and you can get your hands on it if you'd like. Again, I'll put a link and the usual caveats that go with any sort of a Kickstarter. What I have is probably not as cool as the final product will be. I'm sure there are some stretch goals with like new monsters or characters or whatever, but this is just to show you how it plays. If you are looking for a good solo game, I think you might want to check this one out. The premise is that you and your band of explorers went into a dungeon. Things went horribly wrong. Everyone else was killed. You were left behind, unbroken, and now you're trying to fight your way back out. So in the print and play version, you have one of four characters that you could choose to adventure with. And of course, we have our nice standards: the brawler, the sage, the sneak, and the huntress. And I think you can tell just by how I said this who I'm picking, right? Let's be sneaky, and let's say we were the rogue of the party, and perhaps when the monster is attacked and we saw the way things were turning, we snuck into the shadows and hid. And now that the danger has passed, we've come out to seek our revenge. There's 4 levels in this game, so you play sort of 4 different combat rounds to escape your dungeon. And I'm just using some pilfered cubes for this, so I'm gonna start as a level 1 sneak with, of course, some special abilities. I am flexible, which means when I get to draw a skill after defeating a monster, I'm going to have a little bit extra to choose from. I'm allowed to take a peek. So while I'm traveling around down here looking for encounters, I get to have a little more selection on what I get. And of course, during combat itself, I'm a shifty fellow. I mean, check out that face, right? If that's not a shifty fellow, I don't know what is. And I'll be able to call upon a dodge ability. There's 4 different characters, so you can definitely play this game and you end up with a different feel every time. Check Kickstarter, there might be more than 4 at this point, I'm not sure. But we're gonna be Mr. Sneaky Pete here as we try and escape our dungeon. And along those same the same idea here is all of these monsters to choose from. So we only encounter 4, a level 1, a level 2, a level 3, and a 4 in every time we play this game. But there are a ton of them with different strategies and different abilities and different rewards. So the replayability is really nice. They're marked on back 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for now, we'll just pull out the level 1sies here. We'll just pick one randomly. Normally you pick one level 1, one level 2, and so on. But for now, we'll just pick one. All right, we're gonna pick one. And this is gonna be our starting monster. This is the first guy Mr. Sneaky Pete here is going to have to face. We don't know who that is quite yet, not yet, because we're gonna have to start adventuring in our dungeon. Now, as far as setup goes, this doesn't take very much space, which is always a bonus, and there isn't a lot of shuffling or anything else like that you need to do. We have a couple of tracker sheets here, stat cards, and some encounters. On the side, I have 2 other piles, skills and conditions, and these will pop up later in the game, but I'm just gonna keep them over here for now, just so I can kind of get you a close-up of what's going on. So we have Sneaky Pete here at level 1, and as a level 1 person, we don't have a lot, all right? Sad to say we don't have a lot. The First thing to note is we only have our bare hands to start the game. So these little symbols tell us how much damage we do. And with a two-handed punch, we will only be inflicting one wound. If we manage to do two sort of medium strength punch, we will do 3 wounds. So that's not very impressive, but there's hope because we can also upgrade. And this is a really cool feature of this game. You start with sort of these bare hand, bare bones, and you can choose a path. We can either go club or knife. Let's say we go knife. Okay, now we're hitting a little bit harder, and we can upgrade again to sword or spear. So there's kind of a tech tree involved in this, so you can specialize in what sort of combat you like to do, depending on the resources you collect and how you want to expend those items you find. But for now, Sneaky Pete is barehanded, and hopefully we'll find some good loot here and see if we can't help him out. I feel like he's more of a knife dude, but we'll see how that works. And here, of course, are our resources, the things we have on us. Unfortunately, when we slipped into the shadows, we took nothing with us. So our resources meter here are all set to 0. And this is our sort of strength or our punching or fighting power. We have no big hits, but we're going to start the game with some effort that we're going to have. And then the other cool tracker here is there's a sense of urgency, right? We're down here in the dungeon with these monsters and beings, and they will find us. So it's going to be sort of a race. Either we can confront them or they will hunt us down. And that's what this time tracker is going to track. And at the start of the game, there's a little 1 mark, which means we only have 6 ticks before the first monster finds where we are hiding. So at the start of this game, we have 6 ticks of time and an effort level of 13. That's how much strength we have, how many things we can do. And the game itself is divided into 2 separate phases. What's called the travel phase, which is where you explore and power up, and the combat phase, which is when you fight the monster. And again, we can either find the monster and fight him, or he will find us. You can't hide in this game. But we're going to start in the travel phase. We're going to see what sort of resources we can gather, what sort of encounters we can have that'll buff up our Sneaky Pete here, so he'll be ready to take on our level 1 monster. And to do that, this is where this little tiny chart comes in. And these are all general actions. And during the travel phase and the preparation step, we are allowed to do as many of these as we can afford. And you'll notice they either take one of 2 things: effort or time, right? Our 2 most precious resources. This is what it costs. This is what we gain. So we have got some time on our hands. We've got some stamina to us. Let's do one of these. And the best one to do, if you can afford it, is to scout. And what that's going to let us do is we're going to creep down the corridor, peek around the corner, and see what monster is waiting for us. And that's going to really help us out here. So it's a level 1 monster. We're going to spend a little effort and a little time and see what it is that's waiting for us. Right, so Sneaky Pete is going to scamper down the hallway. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of effort, but he's going to see what lies ahead. And it is, ew, interesting. It's a gibberling. And the gibberling has its stats here. He's pretty weak. He only takes 2 wounds to kill. He has an ambush effect. So if he finds us, this bad effect is going to happen. We will gain the paranoid condition for the next level. So if he finds us, we're going to be very, very, very paranoid, and that's going to be hard to deal with. So we want to make sure we don't run out of time, okay? We want to make sure we find him before he finds us. We can trick him. And the problem with trick is, if we spend the requirements, we have the time, we'll bypass him. We'll simply go down another tunnel. But we won't gain any reward for doing it. This is our only level 1 monster. If we trick him, we don't get any benefit, and now we have to go down and fight the level 2 baddie. So trickery is great. Like sometimes if you get ambushed and you're like, oh no, I don't want to pay this, you can trick him and avoid him. But it's not something you want to do sort of as your primary form of attack, right? That's sort of a desperation, a Hail Mary. But we could technically trick him. If we're going to fight him, which is what we want, we're going to move down here to the combat actions. Now, hopefully, with only 2 hit points, this combat won't last too long. But we can already get an idea of what's going to happen. First off, we will gain the panicked condition for the next level. All right. So we could, if we want to avoid being panicked, trick him and get by him if we want. What does that mean? Well, no worries. Remember I said I put these aside? Let's just take a peek. What happens if we become panicked? Reveal 1 less encounter card during the exploration stage. All right. Well, remember our special bonus is to gain an extra, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But we know after facing him, we're going to be panicked. And we can see how he's going to fight us, right? What are his abilities? He whiffs it. He causes a wound. Warn. Oh, we lose some time. So he's a pretty tough creature, okay? The only miss is on a 1. Everything else is going to have an effect for us. So we want to go in strong. We want to hit him for 2 wounds, knock him out before he's able to get a combat round off us. And if we do it, look at all the goodies we get. Treasure, time, and some effort back. So we know what we're up against. Now we just have to plan how to go about defeating this dude. Now we're still in our preparation stage, so we're still allowed to do any of these items we like, and we know we have to inflict 2 wounds, okay? Remember, our bare hands, we need 2 regular old punches to do 1 wound. In order to inflict 3, which would knock him out, we're going to need to get 2 medium punches, and we don't have that. So how can we get it? Well, with general actions, of course. We can what is called focus, okay? Whew, it has a cost to it. It's going to take 4 of our stamina. We're going to have to really concentrate, I don't know, Zen meditate, whatever it is Sneaky Pete does, but that will get us the much desired big punch. So let's do that. For one of our general actions, let's focus. Sneaky's gonna sit down, take some deep breaths, and expend 4 effort. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And gain 1 big punch. Now we know we need 2. We need 2 big punches to knock this guy out. So let's do it again. More Zen. We're gonna spend 4 more focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna get our second big punch. Okay, so that's great and all, but we haven't really done anything to develop our character. We haven't gotten any resources. We haven't gotten any weapons. We haven't gotten any skills. All we've done is sort of get 2 power-ups ready to go here. And we still have all this time, okay? So let's not waste it. Let's not attack him quite yet, even though we could. We could rush into combat, 1-2 him and move on. But since we have the time, let's use it to explore this area a little more, have a couple of encounters, and see what goodies will come our way. So we're gonna leave the first step here. We're gonna stop preparing. We're gonna stop doing the general actions, and we're gonna decide: encounter the monster or spend time and explore. We're gonna decide, no thank you, we're not ready for this yet. Let's go into the exploration step, all right? And we have plenty of time. Let's go see what we can find. So when we explore, you pick 2 of these cards and you get to resolve 1 of them. You have to resolve 1 of them, okay? You've got to commit to finding out what lurks down here. But we are, remember, take a peek. We are sneaky. So while we are exploring, we're going to reveal +1 card during our phase. So we're going to get to look at 3 of these and pick our favorite. So let's see what we find here in our little exploration deck. We get, oh, discarded lumber. Okay, so there's a path that leads us to some wood. Okay, well, that's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, we see a weird chicken thing we can hunt. We can, spend some effort and gain some big rewards. Think about that. Or What's the last thing? Oh, disrupt the feast. Well, we find some beings down here around a bonfire. We can spend some cunning to gain some food. All right, well, what do all these things mean, okay? Cunning is the first one, cunning and food. At the end of all of our combat, we have to eat and sort of refortify ourselves. So food is important at the end of every round. We're gonna need some food, and we don't have any right now. So this would be nice to have, but we need cunning. At this phase of the game, all right, when we're in encounter phase, we cannot go back and do some more general actions that maybe we wished we had. Because one of the things, general action is plan. We could have spent 4 fists to gain that cunning. It's a pretty high cost. I don't think we want to do that. So even though this would be nice, we don't have this resource, so we can't go on this adventure. All right. The chicken, however, well, let's skip this really fast because that's interesting. Discarded lumber will cost us nothing. It's free. We just gonna walk down the hall and pick up a piece of wood. And that might help us, okay? Because to upgrade our bare hands, if we go the club route, we do need some wood for that. So that's a pretty cheap and easy one. This one is the most interesting, this little hunt. Oh, we really needed that punch, right? In order to take out the gibberling. We could, however, expend one medium effort now to kill this chicken. That would get us, a back to regular 1 hit, two regular hits, a food, and this big guy. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, I read that wrong. Hold on. No, I read that wrong. Never mind, we can't do this. This symbol is the biggest of all efforts, right? There's small, medium, large. It would take a large hit in order to kill this little chicken and get these benefits. So we don't have a large hit. We only have 2 mediums, so we can't do this one either. So the only one we can really do is the wood. All right, so we'll discard these 2 for now. Nice try, but we just weren't prepared for it. We'll wander down the hallway, okay? We'll have to spend 1 time, but we'll gain ourselves a resource. And that's easy enough to do. We knock down a single moment of time. We tick up a single piece of wood. All right. Well, that wasn't very exciting. We have plenty more time. Don't really want to do any more general action, so we're going to loop back around, okay? So we've had our exploration. Now we're going to go back to the top here. Do you want to do any general planning actions? We don't have a lot of effort left, so I'm going to say no. Do we want to attack the gibberling? No. I think I still want to explore, so let's do it again. Let's pluck 3 of these. 2, plus our take a peek, because we are sneaky. Hopefully we get something better this time. We get, ooh. So this is going to cost 3 time. It will eat up our wood, but it gives us 2 food, which is highly needed, okay? We are going to get hungry fast, so that's a choice. Oh, okay, this takes no time at all. This one will eat up our medium effort, 1 of our 2, and we'll gain 2 wood. So if we do this, we'll have 3 wood, and we'll be able to upgrade to a club. Okay, so if we do this, we get a weapon. And last, hey, we've seen this before, hobgoblin stockpile. Well, we know we don't want to do this one, so let's just get rid of him. Ooh, this is so tempting. On the one hand, I would really like the food. I would really like the food. But if I gain a club, you know what? Let's look at the club stats. Maybe with a club in my hand, it'll be easier to kill this thing. So if we make a club, this will be nice, because now to do that 3 heart punch, the 3 hit point punch, instead of needing 2 medium hits, I will only need 1 medium hit and 1 regular, which I can do. So let's do it. Let's do it. This was the whole idea of this exploration, right? Was to try and get ourselves some gear. And I'm gonna say yeah. Oh, then I won't get the food. We can be hungry. It'll be fine. Decisions have to be made, and I decide to be hungry. It costs me no time, which is so cool. I will have to expend here my medium effort. So that's all right. We're gonna knock this down. Here we'll still have one left. We'll still have one left. We spent that. We will gain 2 wood. 1, 2. All right. And we're gonna flip back around to the top of this encounter, or this traveling phase. And we'll go back to our general actions, which is what we want. We would like to craft. We have to pay what's on the weapon card, and we can upgrade our weapon. Okay, so no more bare hands for us. Let's do it. We're gonna turn in 3 wood. We got that. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna expend a little bit of effort, not bad, ka-chunk, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time, ka-chunk, but we've done it, we've done it. Okay, goodbye bare hands, hello club. Okay, so we are Sneaky Pete wielding a large stick. The best part is that card cost us no time. Yee, I love it. We don't have a lot of effort left, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna push it because we only need now 1 medium effort and 1 fist. I have 2. Do I want to push it? But I have so much time. The problem, of course, being if my effort ever reaches 0, you get some nasty effects. So we kind of don't want that. But let's do it one more. I'm feeling greedy. Let's go one more. All right, so we're done with general. We're not going to attack. Let's explore. Let's do 3 more, and hopefully we can find something good here. All right, what do we find? Okay. Ooh, interesting. A look ahead. Okay, we can spend 1 time. It costs us nothing. And we can reveal +3 cards. Wow, that would give us 6 cards. Holy mackerel. All right, wow, that would be pretty cool. We can expend 2 time and a treasure, which we don't have, to do a trade. We don't have any treasure. All right, so we can't do that one. Or we can expend 2 times for a cunning to go through a trapped shrine. Okay, all right. Well, here's the thing. If you can't do what's on the cards, all right, if you're stuck like we are, let's say I hadn't pulled this 3rd one, all right, if you're at a point where you can't pay the cost on the card, that's all right, that's all right. You simply pay the time cost, so we could pay 2 time, and you get in return the same number of small effort. Basically, you're resting. You're going to spend 2 times resting to give yourself some stamina back. And we could do that, right? Because we are kind of low. But I'm telling you, I feel greedy, and I feel like Sneaky Pete's a greedy character. So we're going to spend our 1 time, taking us to 4, and we're going to push deeper. We're going to rumble around a little more down here. We're going to get +3 cards on our next exploration. So let's do it. We get our base 2. We get 1 because we're sneaky. And now we're going to get 3 more. Oh my gosh, we're going to get something good. We have to get something good here. Okay, 2 time. Woo! Gathering strength. It'll give us a big whammy. Okay, that's a big, sorry. A medium whammy, but I like that. Yes. Spend a cunning for a bear trap. Nope, he's out. 4 time. Ooh, do we have 4 time? 1, 2, 3. It put us at 0. Okay. So what happens if you hit 0? What happens if you hit 0 on the time chart is the monster finds you. And this ambush effect would activate, and we would become paranoid, and remember, also panicked. I don't want to do that. So as much as I would love to get my hands on some juicy chicken legs, costs too much time. Oh, suspicious mushrooms. I wish you would have been sooner. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. 3 time, spend a food. Oh, we would get a new skill. Oh, I wish we had food. I'm telling you, food is a really valuable resource in this game. But we don't have it. Can't do that one. Wow, look at that. For 1 time, we can turn in a medium fist for whoosh, 5 of them. That's great and all, but I don't think we want to do that. Although, yeah, we could, because then we could just refocus. So maybe. And this one, oh my goodness, we could explore 3 more cards again. Do you want to keep, I feel like we could explore forever here. We have to do one of these. 2 time for a medium hit. Yeah, let's do that one. I feel like we need to gather some strength. We won't have any food. We won't have any food. But we don't have a choice there, so let's do it. Let's spend 2 time, 1, 2, and we're gonna gain ourselves 1 more big punch. Ah, we have no food. All right, well, you guys are gonna see what happens if you push your luck and decide not to feed yourself. Let's finish this up. We're done with our general. We're done with our encounters. We're gonna choose to enter combat with the Gibberling. Now, when we enter the combat phase, we get to go first, and we get to attack with attack with a weapon, and then if we like, take an action. And we would definitely like to attack with a weapon. Our big bad club, named Clubby. Yes, Sneaky Pete has a club named Clubby, and he is going to do a whack here, all right? We are going to do medium and small to do 3 hits. Oh, excuse me. All right, medium, chunk, and a small chunk for 3 hits. He only has 2, so we're going to defeat him before he can hit us. However, as we know, we will become panicked for the next level, all right? So for our level 2 attacks, we're gonna have to deal with this during the encounter stage. Kind of a bummer, but not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world, and it'll go away, okay? So I'm just gonna stick this by my character sheet for now and get rid of him. And we will get some rewards, won't we? So this little Gibbering had on him some treasure. Lovely. He had on him, oh, interesting. We get some extra time, so maybe he's a little farther away than the next monster. So our time tracker now, we're on level 2. I'm gonna slide that up to level 2. One of the benefits is 2 ticks above that. Nice. And we get some stamina back. Whew, we needed that. We're only at 4, which is not very great. The other benefit, however, of defeating a monster is you get a skill. And normally you pick 2 skills and you get to select 1. We, however, remember, are flexible, so we get to draw an extra, being a Sneaky Pete. So we're gonna pull 3 and pick our favorite, and our choices are daring. Oh, I like the sound of that. At the beginning of each combat, as long as we're not ambushed, we gain a small effort equal to the current level. Ooh, hey, that's kind of nice. Outdoorsman, okay. For a travel action, we can spend these 3 items and we can gain, wow, 2 small, 2 medium, or 3 small, 1 large. Wow. Outdoorsman, that's a food is so hard to come by though. I don't know if I want that one. And Berserk, you may increase a monster's combat action roll by 2. If you do, power of your attacks is +1. I don't think we want to do that. Let's try daring. I kind of feel like that fits Sneaky Pete, right? I think as long as we're not ambushed, he's gonna get a little boost up. All right, well, we're panicked, but okay, we're also daring. And now we're ready to move on, to level 2, and level 2 monster. And the other thing that will change at level 2 is the peek ahead. The scout action is going to cost us a little more effort and a little more time. First off, let's gather up all of our level 2 monsters here. Yep, here they are. Mix them up and select 1 to be, I guess I'll put them down here for now. Our next big baddie. I don't know, maybe he works there. We're gonna want to scout eventually and reveal what this is, but unfortunately, our effort tracker is pretty darn low. And the last thing I have to do is feed myself. And remember, we don't have any food. Unfortunately, we didn't do that. So at the end of, after you give yourself all of your goodies for defeating your monster and picking your skills, you have to feed yourself because you've expended a lot of effort. And you must consume 1 food for the level of monster that you bested. Now, for every food you eat, you gain 1 tick of small stamina. So we need to eat 1 food and we'll gain a tick of stamina. But we don't have any. So what happens if you don't have any food? Well, you get weaker. If it's a level 1 monster, you have to subtract 1 stamina. If it's a level 2 monster, it becomes level 1 plus level 2. It's 3 stamina. If it's level 3, it'd be a 1 plus a 2 plus a 3, right? It's exponential growth, kind of. So the higher up you go, the more necessary food becomes. Ours was just level 1, we're okay. We'll lose 1 tick of effort, bringing us down to 3. Remember, we don't ever want to get to 0. So we're gonna have to rest up a little bit this round. That's all right. We got a lot of time in our hands. So let's get started on round 2. And this might be the last one I show you guys. I think you'll have a feel for it by then. But let's just take a peek and see what a level 2 monster looks like. See what sort of power-ups we can get here. General actions. I'm not ready to scout. I don't have enough effort yet. So I'm going to explore. Remember, we're panicked. So our ability to add an encounter card is negated by our panicked state. And this one only is in play for this round, then it'll disappear. So we're gonna be a normal person. We lose our sneak. We get 2 encounter cards. We get to play 1. All right, we can spend 2 time, nothing else, and gain a food. Yes! Or we can spend 5 time and gain 2 cunning. Well, I really don't think there's much to think about here. Let's do a 2 tick. We might finally get 1 food. Remember, we're gonna need 2 food for this level 2 monster, so that's a great start, but we're not there yet. We still don't have enough effort to scout, so let's go do another 2 encounter cards. And we get, oh great, okay. Oh, this is wonderful. So 1 tick of time will get us 2 small. Great, let's catch a breath. Or, oh, we can battle an obnoxious imp. We will lose our food. And I don't want to do that. I'm so paranoid about food right now. We are going to just catch our breath. Spend 1 time, get 2 stamina back. Okay, and now I think we're ready to scout. So we're gonna spend 2 time, tick, tick. We're gonna spend 2 stamina, tick, tick. And let's see what lies ahead, shall we? Ooh, a goblin. Interesting. Okay. So this goblin is a little bit tougher. He has 3 hit points and he has some armor. It's only an armor of 1. The way armor works is you have to break the armor before you can inflict any wounds upon them. So in a way, it's kind of like he has a health of 4. Now, some weapons and abilities will help you with that. For example, Clubby here, which we have, for 1 medium effort, kabang with our club will break 1 tick of armor. So we have Clubby, so we should be okay. So we know we're gonna need a medium effort to bash this in, and then we will need 3 hits to kill the guy, all right? If he ambushes us, oof, we have to give up wood and or knives. If we don't have it, however, we are going to have to lose 2 small for every one we don't have. So this would be a total of 4 small effort to pay this cost. So we really don't want to be ambushed. We can try and trick him and sneak by, but of course, if we do that, we get no reward. His combat isn't awful, all right? He has a miss. We lose a little small stamina. We downgrade a weapon for 1 turn, but his reward is kind of awful too. We get 2 knives and a medium effort for defeating him. So there's not a lot here, and there's no food, no food. So we're gonna have to power up a little bit here, but luckily I think we can get through that shield. Okay, so let's do some planning here. We need to break his shield. Club can do that with a medium hit. We have 1 medium hit. At that point, we're gonna need 3 wounds. Again, Club can do that, but he's gonna need a medium hit and a regular hit. And right now, we don't have enough effort for that, right? To focus and get that medium hit will cost 4, and we don't have it. So we need to get some resting done. We have lots of time, which is to our advantage. We do not want to get ambushed. But I feel like we're okay here. Whew, we're just gonna rest, power up, and we can take this guy. So let's do some encounters. Pull our 2, and we get metal scraps. Spend a time. Nope, see, we don't want to spend any effort, so I'm not really interested in this. And again, spend a medium effort to get 2. Not interested in this, but we will use it for its restability, all right? We're gonna spend 2 time, tick, tick. We're gonna gain 2 small effort. We're getting there, we're getting there. We need 4 to focus. 1, 2, 3, 4. That take us kind of low, so let's go ahead and do one more encounter. We have the time. Spend 2 time, gain some metal. Again, I'm not interested. Catching a breath. This is exactly what we needed. Okay, we're gonna spend 1 time. We're gonna gain 2 efforts. All right. Now wait a minute. Goblin is gonna give us 2 metal. And to upgrade him, okay, so we could upgrade him to an axe. Wow, look at how much time that takes. Wow. Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. We still have enough time to do a little more exploring. We got the same one, sickly berries. Ooh, we need that food. Okay, let's do it. Let's eat some berries for 1. Spend a small effort and get our second food. That's gonna help us down the road. But we're still so low on effort. I'm gonna keep encountering here, hoping for, oh, interesting. Oh, but we don't have that. Oh, that would have been a good one. Spend 4 time. We might do this one, okay? I'm not interested in gaining knives, really, but if I spend 4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, that takes me down to 1, which is as low as I can go. So let's do that. It's 4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, woo! But we're gonna get 4 effort. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's do our last round of general actions because we know what we need. We need to focus, all right? Focus, artichokes. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's gonna boost us up here, okay? So we have 2 medium hits. 1 medium hit is gonna break the shield. Our second medium hit with a small is gonna do 3 wounds. We're gonna have to get through 1 round of combat, but I think we're okay. Let's try it. Okay. Is there any other general we want to do? I don't think so. Let's do it. Let's go in to combat. We get first hit, and we know what we want to do. Clubby is going to take a whack, and we're going to break his shield. It's going to take our medium effort, but we are through the goblin's armor. But now, the goblin gets to hit us. That's simple enough. We roll a die and read the result. A 3, all right. So it's a wound, we're gonna lose 1 stamina. Now, we're tricky, remember. We can dodge. So after a monster's combat roll, we can spend a fist to reduce the roll by 1. Going down to a 2 is the same result, so it's not worth it here. We got plenty of stamina, let's take the hit. Let's go down to a 5. Top of the combat round, our turn. Clubby takes its second whack, and by expending our last giant effort, and a small, we are able to inflict 3 wounds on Mr. Goblin, and we defeat him. Yes, okay, good job, Sneaky Pete. Our reward, like I said, isn't phenomenal. We get 2 knives, and we get back 1 medium effort. Okay, that's great. We get skills, remember? We get 2 plus 1, so we get 3 to pick from this time. We are daring. Oh, hey, I forgot about being daring. Wait, at the beginning of each combat, we should have gained 1 equal to the current level. Oh, I forgot. So let's see. We started combat 1, this is 2, so we should have gotten 2 for that. And then we had a second round of combat, so we should have gotten 2 more. Is that right? Of each combat? At the beginning of each combat. I think that means at the beginning of each combat round? I might have to look that up. I'm not sure about that. You might want to check the rules on daring. I don't know if that only applies the first time you go into combat or each round of combat. I'm guessing it's just the first time you go into combat, right? Otherwise, that'd be really strong. At the beginning of each combat. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to take off 2. That seems too strong. But check that if you pull daring. And remember to apply your effects before you start. All right, so what can we get here? Ooh, heroic perseverance. Your inspiration general action is now spend 5 small to get 1 giant. Using this action in combat allows you to immediately take another action. Ooh, that's awesome. Perfect memory. Once per level, you may take an encounter card of your choice from the discard pile instead of drawing the top of the deck when exploring. Oh, that's kind of cool. So if you're looking for something specific, you can dig through your discard pile. And this late in the game, we have a lot of discards. Concentration. During our travel stage, we can spend a medium to get 4 or, excuse me, spend a big to get 6. So this would go and become part of our general actions. Wow, I want them all. I want them all. Spend 5 to gain. Man, okay. As much as I would love this one, we're just really low on effort. All right. Concentration. Spend 1 to gain 4. So basically it's like the reverse of this, kind of, sort of. I kind of like perfect memory. The idea of being able to dig through and get exactly what I want. I mean, yeah. Let's be perfect memory. Let's be perfect memory. Okay, so we're no longer panicked. Get rid of that. We are now daring with perfect memory. I'm telling you, Sneaky Pete, he's a boss. We've gotten our treasure. We have to feed. He's a level 2 monster. We have 2 food. So we go down to 0, but we gain 2 general stamina. Okay. Reset our time clock to level 3. We lose him. And we would now pick a new monster. This one would be a level 3 here. And scouting this guy is going to cost us a cunning and a time. And as you can see, you rinse and repeat and you just keep going. We're getting close here. The monsters get progressively harder. But maybe like the last monster, you could just trick and get by instead of fighting. For the final battle, not all monsters have a trick ability though, so you might end up having to battle him no matter what. But I just wanted to give you a real quick little show of this game because it is a solo game and it's right now on Kickstarter, and this is the type of game where I don't know if it's going to be available after except as a print and play, and mine's just a paper version. I mean, you know, it works perfectly fine. The only drawback to this is that it is so shifty with these little cubes. Things do shift around in the paper version, and I would bet if you had some nice cardstock to these cards, it would be a little more sturdy as well. The other thing I think you could do, if you wanted to, if you were crafting your own, you could make these into tokens, and then you wouldn't even need this tracker chart at all. If you had two knives, you would just give yourself 2 knife tokens or whatever it was. So there are ways, I think, to even make this footprint smaller and more compact and less fiddly. If you're doing the print and play, I think that would be an option for you as well. Just wanted to shine a light on this. It is just it's just a nice solo game with so many variations to it in the characters you play and the monsters that you encounter. I feel like it's not like it's not a random dice game. There's not a lot of dice involved. I love the fact that you can plan and come up with a strategy and know going in you have a good chance of succeeding instead of just, you know, leaving it all up to fate. I enjoy games where strategy and thinking pay off, and I think that's here. I think this is a solo game with some good strategy and thinking to it. Again, links below to the Board Game Geek site as well as to the Kickstarter page in case you're interested in getting your hands on this game. Unbroken, great little game. I hope you guys enjoy it too. See you soon. Bye.